Party realignment is reshaping Nigeria's political landscape. In Rivers State, Governor Fubara has left the PDP for the APC, only months after President Bola Ahmed Tinubu mediated peace between himself and Nyesom Wike. His defection, backed by lawmakers, has shifted Rivers firmly into the APC camp. In Osun State, Governor Ademola Adeleke has also resigned from the PDP, joining the Accord Party following his defection. Adeleke clinched the Accord Party governorship ticket for the August 2026 Osun election, winning the primary in Osogbo with 145 delegate votes. Meanwhile, the PDP faces internal strain. A faction led by Nyesom Wike is pushing for a rival convention in Abuja, challenging the Ibadan gathering. But with Rivers now under APC control, including his own constituency, the bigger question is, will Wike himself defect to the APC or remain in the PDP to fight for influence? Well, joining me to discuss this and more is, of course, my guest this evening, Adebayo, is a political analyst. He joins virtually from Ogun State. I also have a Taiwo Osanyin, the political analyst also, who joins virtually from Abuja. Gentlemen, thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me.
All right.
Thank you for having me, Dapo. It's always a pleasure to be on the center.
All right, great. Let me start, of course, with you, Mr. Adebayo, Mr. Mark Adebayo. Looking at Rivers State, Governor Fubara's defection from the People's Democratic Party to the APC. And then in Osun State too, Governor Ademola Adeleke leaving the PDP for the Accord Party. Is there any element of surprise for you here?
Absolutely no. Absolutely no. These are predictable moves. Already on the political chess game of Nigeria, everybody already knew that Fubara will have to go to APC to satisfy his political godfather. Adeleke, considering the shenanigans in the PDP, it was sure that he was going to leave PDP and go to a party. But maybe what nobody saw coming was that he now went to a Accord Party. So, one of the things happening in the Nigerian political space is that like Aldous Huxley, the English 19th century philosopher and writer, once said that the biggest lessons that human beings have learned from history is that we have learned nothing from history. Because this trajectory, this strategy towards a one-party state by the APC, it will not work well, it will not augur well for a multi-party democracy like Nigeria's. Because the way it is going, that all these governors, I think how many governors are left? Maybe about 3 or 4 governors are left in the PDP now. It's not good for a multi-party democracy where you don't have a vibrant opposition or where the government deliberately and purposely weakens the opposition in order to dominate the political space. Well, the PDP today that is being depleted, that is being defeated, that is being submerged, once boasted that was going to rule this country for how long? For 50 years or 60 years. Now it's ruled for 16 years and was taken out of the place. The same thing will befall the APC, because this, hijacking of politically exposed persons from other political parties and depleting the opposition will not augur well for a multi-party democracy like Nigeria. Multi-party democracy is healthier for any democracy. But where you are turning towards a one-party state where everybody seems to be sleeping and turning their heads to one direction, it does not work well for democracy, it does not work well for justice, it does not work well for development and growth of any country. Because at the end of the day, there will not be alternative political views as to how the government should be managed in a way that will be beneficial to the progress and the development of the country. Right. So it's not a surprise, but it's just too unfortunate for it to be happening at this moment.
All right. Thank you for that, Mark. But let me, of course, throw the same question to Taiwo too. Taiwo, what we are seeing in Rivers State and Osun State at the moment, for you also, would you say that you saw this coming?
Let me start with a very brief historical analysis as a student of history. The PDP lost the party's existence in 2015, and one of the strategy of the APC in 2015, after the emergence of the late President Muhammadu Buhari, was to ensure that the PDP went into extinction. Unfortunately, the PDP has played into the hands of the APC excessively in the affairs of the party politics, right from the emergence of President Muhammadu Buhari as the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria in 2015. And why do I say so is this? In 2019, I actually contested, if you remember, on the platform of the PDP before I defected and left the PDP when my life was on the line and I was actually chased by the party. This is a party that has systematically and unwholesomely decided with pride and envy and also any systematic pressure to sit down and destroy itself by itself among these people. And then because why do I say so is this? I'll give an example. We have structural defects and functional defects in building. When the foundation of a building is defective, there's a problem with that building. We can assume that functional effect or defect of a building is actually very small to deal with, little cracks here, little cracks here. But when the foundation of a party is in problem, then there's a problem with the party. And I will say this, in 2015, when the likes of the then former president of Nigeria, Olusegun Obasanjo, when the likes of the then head of state and some very big wigs of the party decided to distance themselves from the party, that was when the PDP lost its ground. And then most people may think that the PDP actually is having issues today because they are not in power. No, the PDP is the only party that will fight itself. And I will borrow from the language of the Yoruba that will say that they will prefer to destroy the party than to rearrange it, than to realign it. And that's the only party that is so unfortunate. When I hear people like my brother on your studio, Mr. Adebayo, saying that the APC is trying to wage itself as a one-party state. No, the PDP is only falling into the hands of the APC as a one-party state. And that is the problem we have in Nigeria today. This is a party that in Lagos State today and other parts of the Federation today, the PDP as opposition will be sitting down early in the mornings of the election around 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m. and be collating and be partnering with their so-called opponent just to ensure that they lose an election rather than to win the election. What a very systematic party. And then the people of the PDP emancipated more in 2023 when the party decided to throw open the party tickets for the presidential election in 2023, when they were supposed to sit down after having a meeting in Bayelsa Akwa Ibom with them, the former governor of who is now the sitting FCT minister, Johnson Wike, after they decided by the southern governors to zone the party ticket to the south, but they decided just because of personal interest, they decided to throw it open. And then the likes of Autumn, who was the chairman of the organizing council at that time.
Taiwo, I know that you have a lot to say, but we'll go on a quick break, our very first break. When we return from the break, I will bring into the conversation Judge Turnah, who's the state chairman for the People's Democratic Party by Yelsa State, and also to talk about the happenings within the PDP and if at all he got his certificate according to the Shea Makinde faction of expulsion. But this and more is what we'll discuss. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Thanks for staying with us. It's still Politics HQ on News Central Television, and of course I still have my guests with me. Mr. Mark Adebayo is a political analyst. I was Osanyin, a political analyst also. And then joining the conversation right now is Judge Turnah, the state chairman of the People's Democratic Party by Yelsa State, joins virtually. Thank you, gentlemen, for your time. Mr. George Turnah, let me stay on you for a moment. And I mean, we might do a bit of catching up here. We've seen a lot happen within your party in the past weeks. We've seen just in 24 hours about 2 governors defecting to other parties, adding to the list of governors that have already defected, many of them citing internal crisis, right, as the reason for their defection. And then taking it way back to the convention, the party, what you might consider a faction of the party anyway, actually did announce the expulsion of some key members, being you part of those members that that faction of the party did expel. They went further to issue certificates of expulsion. So maybe I should start my conversation by first asking, have you gotten your certificate of expulsion from the PDP yet?
Thank you for having me, and good evening, Nigerians. Well, how can you expel someone who is not part of you? You have rightly pointed out that a faction of the PDP, I don't belong to that faction, so they cannot exercise any level of authority over me.
So what faction do you belong to? What faction in the party do you belong to?
I don't belong to their faction, and so there will be no need for suspension or expulsion, because you can only expel or suspend someone who is your member. I belong to the PDP. I am a elected zonal secretary of the party in the South Zone. And as an interim arrangement, I am chairman of the caretaker committee of the party in Bayelsa State.
But the party, this faction. Sorry to interrupt you. But this faction, actually, this purported faction, actually insists that that they have the backing of INEC. Maybe we should play a video excerpt of the Ekiti. Will I call it primaries that did happen against the governorship election, where, of course, they claim that INEC was involved. So let's take a listen to what the Chairman Turaki had to say. Okay, once we have it, definitely we'll bring it on. I understand that we're trying to get that, but I just want to put it to you. What is going on within your party?
Let me just quickly give you a quick answer to whatever claim. You recall that we had the primaries in Ekiti, and that primaries has a result sheet that is everywhere. I will expect that you should have it, or I'm sure if I have a copy, I would have forwarded to you so you display, so that Nigerians can see whose signature is on that Ekiti primary result sheet as National Secretary and National Chairman of the party, or National Organizing Secretary of the party. It is Tue Bature that is there as National Organizing Secretary, Samuel Anyango as National Secretary. That is the result sheet of Ekiti. Now they said they had a primary in Osun. Let them display the result sheet so that Nigerians can see the signatories. The result. You see, when you falsehood, you can push falsehood as much as you can, but it will definitely be overtaken by the truth. The people we are talking about, are you aware that they have just filed a court action in Ibadan, Federal High Court, seeking an order of court for recognition? Have you seen that kind of thing before? You claim that you had a convention. You claim that you are a national chairman of party, you are national working committee, and you are going to court to ask the court, Federal High Court, to recognize you, to compel INEC to recognize you. I've never seen that kind of thing before. So there's no point wasting time, effort with people who live in falsehood and self-denial. Let them display. I saw them today celebrating Ekiti governor candidate of the party. Let them display the result sheet of that primaries and show to Nigerians where Turaki Tanimu's name is on that result sheet.
So are you saying confidently that what they announced is fraudulent?
No. Look, the party had given notice to INEC, right? A proper notice signed by Ili Adamagun, jointly with Samuel Anyango as national chairman and secretary of this party, informing INEC of party primaries for Ekiti and Osun. Definitely because at the time they wrote those letters, they were the legitimate signatories of the party. INEC honored and sent observers, right? Now, there is a result sheet. When you conduct primaries, you will have a result sheet that you will return the candidates elected now. The one for Ekiti is everywhere. The result sheet for Ekiti, I can send to you now, so you display. You will see the name and signature of the national secretary, national chairman, and the organizing secretary of the party clearly written, there. And then the one for Osun State, we challenge them. See, they claim, in fact, the primaries for Osun, they went and said they conducted primaries after their Ibadan social gathering. Let them show Nigerians the result sheet.
You call the convention that happened in Ibadan a social gathering, but that
is what it is.
That is what it is, according to you. So we also understand that
not according to me. It's a social gathering.
So when is the actual convention now happening?
No foundation in law.
When is the actual convention now happening?
No, I'm coming. It's a social gathering because it has no foundation in law. You can't put something on nothing and expect it to stand. There were 2 court judgments, that clearly barred the party from going ahead with convention, that clearly ordered INEC not to grant us permission for convention, not to participate in any convention, and not to recognize any outcome of any convention whatsoever until the party had done XYZ. We are in the process of complying with those things that the court have asked us to do, to comply with our constitution, our guidelines, and the Electoral Act. When we are done, we will inform INEC and then have a proper convention. You even hear that the Ibadan High Court, that they got ex parte order to compel INEC to allow them to hold convention, have just on Monday ruled that it lacks jurisdiction over INEC and struck out the name of INEC. So what does that tell you? So when we say there was no convention, I am a lawyer. So when I speak, and you didn't see INEC there, by our laws, INEC must observe and be present in every convention or meeting of a political party for the purpose of electing officers or removing officers.
Okay, so how, in one word, I mean, you said quite a couple of things. In one word, how will you now describe the Kabiru Turaki-led leadership of the PDP?
No, there's no Turaki-led leadership of the PDP. There's not, it's not known to law. It does not exist.
It does not exist, according to you.
I have just told you that. Give me a moment. I have just told you that the people you are talking about have approached the Federal High Court in Ibadan, seeking an order of court for
if it doesn't exist, a simple question now. So who currently runs the PDP? Who is the chairman of the party?
Mohammed Abdurrahman is the chairman of the National Caretaker Committee for the party, because the tenure of Damagu and Anyangu, the working committee, have expired by a fruition of time. So the party NEC met and approved a National Caretaker Committee chaired by Mohammed Abdurrahman. And don't forget, that even reminds me, in 2024, you see, we forget too quickly, there was a judgment by the Federal High Court by Honorable Justice Lifu, which ordered that Damagu and his working committee must remain in office till the 8th of December 2025. It was Damagu who went to court. That was when they wanted to replace him with somebody from North Central. And he went to court and got judgment. That judgment have not been appealed against. That order have not been set aside. So how can you elect Turaki on the 15th of November and swear him in as chairman when there is an order, a subsisting order of court, which says that Damagu and his working committee must stay in office till December the 8th. You see, impunity have no place in, and when the law catches up with impunity, what you get is the kind of shenanigans that we see, being displayed. And, kindergarten people and amateur politicians everywhere. How do you explain
sorry, Mr. Turnah. Mr. Turnah, you said kindergarten. Sorry.
Expulsion.
Because we need to go on break. We need to go on break. You said kindergarten people and amateur politicians. Who are these
amateur
people?
politicians?
Who are they? Who are they?
Claiming to be leaders of this party everywhere.
Who are these people? You haven't said who they are.
No, you know them.
I don't know them.
You have been shouting their name now.
I can't remember shouting anybody's name that is an amateur politician.
How can somebody claim that he went to a convention and he was elected and it's national this, national that, and yet you go to a federal court to seek for an order of court for recognition? Okay, wait now until you get that order recognizing you, and then you start functioning.
All right.
You can't blow hot and cold at the same time. You have approached the court for an order of recognition to compel INEC to recognize you. That order you have not gotten. Wait until you get the order before you start functioning.
All right. Thank you very much, Judge Turnah. We'll go on a quick break. When we return, we'll expand the conversation to talk about the implication of some of these defections, particularly in a state like Osun. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Many thanks for staying with me. Still Politics HQ on News Central Television, and of course I still have my guest with me. Let me come back to you, Mr. Adebayo. Mr. Adebayo, let's look at the implication of some of these defections. I would like us to pick it in bits. Let's start with Osun State. Osun State, we see Governor Adeleke leaving the People's Democratic Party for Accord Party. Now, there are concerns. Number one, Accord Party, yes, it's pretty known, but some are asking, is there really a strong structure in a state like Osun? Are we looking at an election that would largely be based on his popularity to turn in votes as against party structure? And there are also concerns as regards, looking at some of other party members that have defected to the ruling party. Why did he not go that same route?
As it stands today, it suffers from internal catatonic implosions. And that is why Adeleke knows that remaining with PDP could be a disastrous political decision for him. That's why he decided to go. A lot of people will have thought that, he could go to APC. But the political calculations and configurations in Osun State will not allow him to function well within the APC. That's why he went to Accord Party. And then, forget about structures or no structures. Once the governor has moved to that party, you will see that there will be a kind of a speeding up of the structures of the party across the state. Accord Party is not a new party. Accord Party has been an old party. It's a party that is well experienced in terms of political management and administration. So it will not be, but it's going to be a straight fight between the Accord Party and APC, because PDP is actually out of the calculation for Osun State now, if you ask me, because that is the issue. The people, at the leadership level, the PDP lack the kind of people who have the capacity for internal crisis management, especially starting from their primaries in 2020, presidential primary in 2022, going to 2023 election. The party already had been emaciated and already demarcated into several factions. That is what is happening now. But of course, we should not forget the fact that there are also external interferences in some opposition political parties that is making them unstable at the moment. But for Osun State, I believe very strongly that Adeleke has taken the best decision available to him. The best thing for him, if he didn't want crisis, if he had gone to APC, that would have been an explosion of precedented crisis with the APC, because there are people, strong candidates within the APC in Osun State. And of course, the PDP could not give him what he wanted. So it's better for him to go to other political parties.
But Mr. Adebayo, please hold on. But let's also consider his chances. Some would say that for instance, the PDP has a strong structure in Osun State, the APC too, but Accord. So there are questions around his chances at the polls. In 30 seconds, how do you think this will pan out?
This issue of, we are overblowing this issue of structures. You see, when Peter Obi went to, the Labour Party didn't have any structures. And Peter Obi almost won the 2023 general elections. Even to some people, Peter Obi won that election. So, the issue of these structures is being overblown. The governor himself, if he has done well in the state, he could have as well gone to any political party in that state, and he would have still won that election. It's not about the structures alone. It also has to do with good governance. It has to do with the performances of the incumbent. It also has to do with the popularity of the candidate. It has to do with the, what people know or think about the candidate. The candidate carries a lot on his shoulders when it comes to political party structures. So the personality of the candidate supersedes the structures of the party. And being the city governor, he will be able to mobilize, if he has already amassed enough goodwill within the state. It will not matter whether Accord Party has enough structures like APC or PDP in the state or not. It will be, what will happen in the election will be his own performance records that is able to market to the people of Osun State to make him to win the election.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
The candidate is more important than the structure of the party.
All right, thank you, Mr. Adebayo. Let me bring Taiwo back into the conversation. Taiwo, your take too, particularly what we are seeing in Osun State. There are concerns about how the governorship poll, may turn out, particularly in the line of the current governor who is running for a second term.
Certainly, and unfortunately, we have a country that the political party today is just more of like a vehicle to getting political position. For me, for someone like Governor Adeleke, it's on the verge of a very terrible risk. Why am I saying that is by the time the current political party, the ruling political party in the federal, that's the APC, lynch on him at the election, at the poll, he might find himself losing that poll in 2026. Having said that, it is very important to state that we have a political structure today that gives credence and power to sitting governors and incumbents like the presidency. It's only the President Jonathan that actually would sit down as an incumbent and lose an election. And unfortunately, that is why my brother can say that Governor Adeleke is likely to win the election, even if he goes to a new party that does not even exist and registers it today in INEC, then gets the party ticket immediately, and then runs an election even in 2 days' time, and then feels that he's going to win. Because we have a system that power and money has been well emancipated by incumbents, so they have the will without to do anything and to purportedly carry out elections in their own favor and also get the necessary results that they want to get. But on the flip side, what is more dangerous is that we are running a party today, because what I see today is an Osun State governor who is a very smart politician, understanding the nitty-gritty of what is happening in the PDP and the litigation that are actually running through the PDP today. He has a foresight that this may actually truncate his election chances, even when he wins at the poll with the PDP. However, on the other side, it's just I feel that what the Osun State Governor Adeleke has done is to take what we call a brief safe haven in their court party and then use it as a platform to win an election, and then probably when the strikes are settled and the boat the ship is well landed at the shore of the PDP, he would then go back to the party.
So basically, Taiwo, what you're saying is that what you're saying is that Governor Adeleke might just be using the Accord Party as a platform to secure his second term and then dump it and go back to his former party, the PDP. Is that what you're saying? It
is not far from that reality, because what is happening right now is the PDP in disarray. And look at what my dear brother Turnah is saying there. He knows his party is in disarray, and the party survivor is closer to 0 than 1. Wow. We have a lot of litigation happening in fighting in the party. Unfortunately, mature people acting like babies and not having the credibility to understand conflict management mechanism, then it only shows that what Adeleke is just trying to do is just to exempt himself from that rigorous scene and then use the
Taiwo, I'll pick something from what you said and then maybe throw my question to Mr. Turnah. Mr. Turnah, some Nigerians feel that the PDP has met its Waterloo with all of this drama and this crisis that we are seeing. Defections of key office holders leaving the party in droves. Are we seeing the final moments of your beloved party?
Well, no politician will want to see anything, wrong in the PDP. There's actually nothing wrong in the PDP, and PDP is strong. We're only going through a phase, and the stage where we are is transitional. We're trying to transit in our national leadership, and it is politics. It comes with a lot of conspiracy and a lot of struggle, because it's actually a struggle for control of power. When we get through this phase, and definitely there is a pronouncement one way or the other, and there is a leadership that is acceptable, and proclaimed by law, everybody will come in and work for the party.
All right. Now, talking about control of power.
Elections in 2015, we had a lot of defections.
All right.
Don't forget that a lot of the people who left our party in 2015, somehow, some of them came back.
All right, but talking about control of power, please, 1 minute. Talking about control of power, let's talk about the role of the FCT minister. He was also, according to the Turaki-led leadership, expelled from the party, but he has insisted that he still remains a bona fide member of the party, and that's a convention.
Of course he is. He remains. He's a member of the party.
Will still hold. But Nigerians are asking that, look, virtually, a lot of governors have left the party. Just yesterday, the governor of Rivers State, His Excellency Sim Fubara, decamped from the PDP to the APC. So people are asking the question, what exactly does the FCT minister want with the PDP? He is working with the ruling party. What is his end game? What is his goal?
Well, it's the defections are unfortunate. It's not about the FCT minister. Once upon a time, when we lost power in 2015, a lot of people left the party. It took the likes of the FCT minister, to hold the party.
Is he really holding the party? Is he holding the party now?
Ensure that the party, survived. Defections are not new. Elections are not won, via defections. I'll give you an instance. For instance, South-South today, you can say it's APC, but South-South is not APC through the ballot. It is APC by defection of individuals, governors, who govern the states. When the time for balloting, comes, the people will decide. I can tell you for sure that there are traditional states. For instance, we have no PDP in Zamfara. Today we have PDP governor in Zamfara. We have never won. There are states that we have never won elections.
Mr. Turnah,
eventually won elections.
See, I'm going to ask you this directly.
When the next election cycle comes, we will put candidates up for elections, and I'm sure by the end of the balloting and the results, we'll put some of these defections behind us.
Okay, because I'm also tempted to ask you when you will defect.
I am not. I'm in the PDP. If I didn't defect in 2015, through 2023 and up to 2025. Look, people like us have suffered. I am the only Nigerian who resigned after we lost the election in 2015. A PDP member who had a federal appointment, a juicy position, but resigned from the government to help to rebuild this party. I went through persecution. I was on trial, on 2 separate charges of 23 count charge and another 4 count charge. Went through persecution for 8 years. 8 years of APC. And I came out, clean, and I'm here. And we are still in this party. Do people who have reasons to defect should be people like us?
So you can never, so that we can just move on. So you can never, for instance, defect to the APC. That's what you're saying.
I owe a duty to rebuild my party. Look, nobody leaves his house because there is fire on the roof. You must provide, you must be able to play a role, get a bucket of water if there are no fire service, to put that fire off and make the house livable and habitable for people and make it comfortable. Where I'm not, look, I play politics of conviction. I don't play, politics of convenience.
All right, thank you very much.
I play politics of conviction.
Thank you.
And I am a very straightforward. I don't pretend about issues.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much,
Judge. I don't regret when I take decisions. So I am in the PDP.
Thank you very much, Judge Turnah. Just, of course, in 30 seconds. Mr. Mark, in 30 seconds, please, what do you suggest, or what do you see, as an implication of all of this in our political space ahead of 2027? 30 seconds. Mr. Mark Adebayo.
What has been demonstrated so far is that the APC actually knows how to poach politically exposed persons from other political parties, that it knows how to win elections, how to manage political environment and the rest of that. But the APC, the same APC has shown that it lacks the capacity to be able to run the government very well. That is why you're having security challenges, economic challenges, all manner of challenges all over the country.
All right.
They are doing this now. What they are doing is that they are weakening the opposition. But Nigerians in 2027 will go towards a new direction. There will be a new direction. They can carry as many governors as they want, but it's going to be the Nigerian people are going to defect towards a new direction.
All right.
By bringing in a new political party into the government, because nobody is enjoying this government.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much. Gentlemen, I'd like to, of course, appreciate you for your time on the program this evening. Of course, Judge Turnah, State Chairman, the People's Democratic Party, Bayelsa State, Taiwo, Osanyin, political analyst, and Mark Adebayo, also a political analyst. Gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for your time. Well, this is the beat we can take tonight. In case you missed out, you can catch up on our YouTube platform. That's at News Central TV. You can also choose to follow us on social media. The handle is there on your screen. You can choose to follow me personally at Dapo Adegboye. Up next is Tonight.